Namaste. Welcome to the Chicago CKB Satsang. Today's program will focus on Ma Saraswati, the goddess of learning, the goddess of wisdom, the muse goddess. There will be two parts to the program. The first will be Saraswati Vandana, which will be sung by Kavita Arudra, followed by Dr. Vanamala Parthasarathi, who will explain the ways in which Saraswati is worshipped in India, the significance of Saraswati in our religion, temples dedicated to Ma Saraswati, followed by Sharada Bhujangam. The two artists are known to us. They have performed previously for Chicago Kalibari. Dr. Vanamala Parthasarathi was the Deputy Director of the Anantacharya Interlogical Institute in Bombay. She's multifaceted. She's a scholar, she's a writer, she was a dancer, she's a classical musician, and loves bhajans. A notable contribution is her monograph titled Garuda, Past and Present, a bird's eye view of South Indian traditions. We look forward to hearing Vanamala Parthasarathi talk to us about Saraswati worship. Kavita ji has been singing since the age of 4. She started her Hindustani vocal training under her mother, Srimati Malati, who was a Sangeet Visharad. Since then, she's been learning from several gurus and presently under the able guidance of Surmani Dr. Pandit Mukund Kshirsagar of Jodhpur. He belongs to the Gwalior and the Mewati Gharanas. Kavita ji is a versatile performer in Hindustani vocal. She has written and composed a devotional album, Samarpan. She believes that music is the divine language towards evolving our consciousness towards the higher self. Looking forward to it. Over to you, Kavita ji.
Namaskar. Thank you, Ranjani. I will begin with a small shloka, which was it's an ancient shloka written by Agastya, and it will be followed by a song on Saraswati. This will be my first part, and the second part, both of it is small pieces. The second one is on Sharada. So I begin with Saraswati shloka. Ya Kumbhendu Tusharhar Dhavala Ya Shubhra Vastra Ya Veena Varadanda Manditakara Ya Shweta Padmasana Ya Brahmachyuta Shankara Prabhuti Devyai Sada Vandita Samam Padu Saraswati Bhagavati Nishesh Jadyapaha Shri Sharade Shubham Varade Shri Sharade Shubham Varade Shri Sharade Shubham Varade Shri Sharade Shubham Varade Matrupe स्वरनिनादे मातृरूपे स्वरनिनादे मातृरूपे स्वरनिनादे मातृरूपे स्वरनिनादे श्री शारदे शुभं वरदे श्री शारदे शुभं वरदे श्री शारदे वीणावादिनी पुस्तकधारिणी वीणावादिनी पुस्तकधारिणी वीणावादिनी पुस्तकधारिणी वीणावादिनी पुस्तकधारिणी हंसवाहिनी ज्ञानदायिनी हंसवाहिनी ज्ञानदायिनी हंसवाहिनी ज्ञानदायिनी अम्ब विमलमतिदे अम्ब विमलमतिदे श्री शारदे शुभं वरदे श्री शारदे शुभं वरदे श्री शारदे शुभं वरदे मातृरूपे स्वरनिनादे मातृरूपे स्वरनिनादे श्री शारदे श्री शारदे श्री शारदे ॐ शारदे जय शारदे वाग्विलासिनी शारदे शारदे जय शारदे वाग्विलासिनी शारदे शारदे जय शारदे विद्यादायिनी शारदे शारदे जय शारदे विद्यादायिनी शारदे शारदे जय शारदे वेदमाता शारदे शारदे जय शारदे वेदमाता शारदे वेदमाता शारदे वेदमाता शारदे वेदमाता शारदे वेदमाता शारदे
Namaste. I'm grateful to Chicago Kalibari for having given me a second opportunity to participate in the satsang. The title of my talk is Saraswati, the Muse Goddess. Now, Kavita ji has sung 2 bhajans and a shloka on Saraswati, which probably would have given you some kind of a rough picture. And I would be talking about as a muse goddess, how she is worshipped. And I have divided my talk into these divisions. There'll be introduction, and then worship and her popularity, in other countries like Japan and Southeast Asian countries, and the temples and legends in India. And I will be talking about the Sharada Peeth in Kashmir. I will be talking about uh, Kuttanur Saraswati in Tamil Nadu, Mookambike in Karnataka, and Sharada in Karnataka, and Dakshina Mookambike in Kerala. And I would talk about, and other places, a few of the temples I'll be mentioning. It will be one at Basar in Telangana, and other smaller temples, and the festivals celebrated for Sharada and Saraswati, Sharada or Saraswati, and her representation, her visual representations in sculpture, pictures, paintings, etc. I would be talking about that, and I would be concluding my talk with the recitation of chanting of Sharada Bhujangam. It is the Sharada Bhujangam, and it has been composed by Adi Shankara. So I will be reciting and chanting that. Now, the title, as I said, is Saraswati, the Muse Goddess. When I say Muse Goddess, somehow I keep remembering the 9 Greek muses, and in Greek civilization, how they had the 9 muses, and they were all goddesses, and they presided over arts, including music and literature. It is said that an artist or a poet would pray to this particular muse to inspire him to take up the task or create a song or create a literary work or something like that. Now, just as we do in India, is the same way we always pray to Saraswati, and the children are always taught this song, taught this prayer, little prayer, which actually is a part of the 21 shlokas attributed to sage Vyasa. In fact, Yakundendu is one of the verses, and the other verse is Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambam Karishyami Siddhi Bhavatu Me Sada. Now, this shloka is taught to all students. In some of the places, it is actually a prayer in some of the schools. And now, Saraswati is, of course, you know what she is. I mean, she is the consort of Brahma, and she's she's full of wisdom, and she gives her devotees all the wisdom, the learning, knowledge, art, speech, and music, even any creative art. It could be painting, it could be sculpting, it could be any art. Now, she has other names too, like very often we refer to her as Saraswati, but there are other names too. Some of the names are Savitri, Brahmi, Vani, Gayatri, Vagdevi, Bharati, Kalavati. She's identified how she shown. Now I think I have a little thing put up there behind my back, and there is Sharada and Saraswati, and there is a picture of Saraswati you will see. And interestingly, the painting about is white lotus. Now Saraswati is always associated with white, and she's white in color, and she's the embodiment of purity and pure consciousness. And she has a white lotus, she has a veena, she has an akshamala and palm leaf manuscripts. Her mounts are swan and peacock. It's interesting to know the swan, according to the Hindu tradition, when you keep milk and water, the swan will not take the water but just take the milk. In other words, the essence of the truth. Okay? It is also mentioned that the word Saraswati means a flowing one. Originally, she was a river goddess, and was during the Vedic times. And they say that the Saraswati river disappeared after some time, and a lot of work has been going on trying to revive that and find out the source and the course, etc. During the Puranic period, she became the consort of Brahma, the creator of the Trinity in the Hindu traditions. She is one of the three Devis, the others being Lakshmi and Parvati. The river used to flow in the western part of India, they say, and dried up. And as I told you, scholars are working on it. The government is working on it to find out, retrace the course or recover the river. So while I visited, it's interesting, while I visited Badrikashram, my husband and I had gone to Badrikashram, and I was quite keen to do a little bit of trek and find out, because I had heard about the Saraswati River. So I was very keen to go there. And so the guide who took us, we trekked for some distance along with a guide, and he showed us a roaring, fearful river not very far away from Vyasa's cave, where the cave in which Vyasa wrote his Mahabharata and Ganesha was writing earnestly. The river was really fierce. I mean, I can't tell you how fierce it was. Now, they say that the Saraswati River goes down and comes up, but I wouldn't know whether it's the same Saraswati, but I was told so. Now, this is as far as the river is concerned, and she was a river goddess to begin with. In Mahabharata, Saraswati is called the mother of Vedas. And also in one of the Brahmanas, Taittiriya Brahmana, she's known as the mother of eloquent speech and melodious music. And also she is described as a celestial creative symphony and appeared at the time of creation of the universe by Brahma. Now, who is she? And she's supposed to have been created by Brahma and was born from his mouth. She was a Manasa Putri. And as the avatara of knowledge, actually she was the avatara of knowledge. In another ancient text also, as I mentioned, she's described as follows: may the goddess of speech, that is, enable us to attain all possible eloquence. She who wears on her locks a young moon, who shines with exquisite luster, who sits reclined on a white lotus, and from the crimson cusp of whose hands pour radiance on the implements of writing and books produced by her favor. This is from a text called Sharada Tiraka, and it was written sometime during the 8th century. And she's a very prominent goddess in Buddhism. And she's the consort of Manjushri, and she's a revered goddess. She's also known in the Jain tradition, she's also known to spread that she's also Tirthankar's sermon. And her picture is always found in Jain Bandars, the libraries. And I'll be talking about the Tara later on. And just now, I will talk about the worship and what kind of worship she receives in the different countries. Now, here in Japan, the concept traveled from India to China and then to Japan. She appears here as a Benzeiten. I don't know whether I'm pronouncing it rightly because it's a Japanese language and I'm trying to pronounce it in English. She's shown holding a biwa or a Japanese lute. She's enshrined in many locations in Japan, in the 3 biggest shrines in Japan. In Thailand, in ancient literature, Saraswati is called Thai Suratswati, goddess of speech and learning and consort of Brahma. Amulets of Saraswati and a peacock are found in Thailand. Now in Cambodia, Saraswati is honored with invocations among the Hindus of Angkorian Cambodia, that is 10th, 11th century inscriptions, according to the inscriptions. She and Brahma appears in epigraphy from 7th century onwards. She is praised by Khmer poets for being the goddess of eloquence, writing, and music. She is referred to as Bhageshwari and Bharati in Yashovarman era in Khmer literature. Now we come to Indonesia. Indonesia she's known as Vatu Gunuk. The last, and at that time, the Vatu Gunuk is actually the last day of the Paukon calendar, and it is devoted to Saraswati, the goddess of learning. For books and reading is not allowed. Balinese Hinduism, she is important goddess, same attributes as iconography in Hindu texts. She is the goddess of learning, creative arts, wisdom, etc. In Bali celebration, there is this on Saraswati Day, very popular in Indonesia, and people offer flowers in temples and sacred books. The next day is what they call Banyu Pinaruhu, day of cleansing. The Hindus of Bali go to the sea or river, offer prayers to Saraswati. They prepare a feast and they prepare a feast, and it's called Bebeku Betutu and Nasi Kuning. In recent times, it is celebrated. They also have dance and theater performances. In Tibet, she is known as goddess of music, Tara of music, and consort of, as I told you earlier, Manjushri. She is one of the 21 Taras. She is considered as the peaceful manifestation of the glorious goddess, Palden Lamu. She was a meditational deity in the 14th century of a Tibetan monk, Son Gumpa. He composed a devotional poem to her. Now we come to the worship part of it and the temples and legends. Now, in actually one of the most ancient temples for Sharada is to be found in Kashmir, about 10 kilometers from line of control. And this is supposed to be the ancient shrine. And it is said that actually in fact, Adi Shankara went to Kashmir, and they say that there were 4 pitas. I mean, the pita, there were 4 thrones, and each had to be occupied by the scholar, the greatest scholar. And so it so happened that there was nobody from the south, and Adi Shankara went there, and all the 3. She was welcome there, but all the 3, the so-called the doorways, or the symbolizing the doorways, the thrones were there. He could not occupy the southern one because of the sorry. It is because of the sorry. Sorry. And she could not occupy the thing because there were other people from other faiths who were trying to come and debate with him, and they wanted to see. And finally, he won over all the debates, and then he was about to ascend he held the hand of one of his very close disciples and was trying to ascend the throne. And at that time, there was a voice from above, and she said, yes, you can ascend the throne. And he ascended the throne, which means the Sharada Pita. Now there was a shrine also. They say that there was a shrine, but it's not in worship now anymore. Now coming to the legendary origins of Sharada temple in Kashmir. This is Sharada. There's a work called Sharada Sahasranama. It was a manuscript written in Sharada script. Sharada language was there and script was also there. And it was passed on by the last Purohit of the temple. According to it, Rishi Shandilya was performing yagna in this Sharada area where the locals and priests were involved. During the yagna, a beautiful woman appeared, introduced herself as Brahmini, and wanted to participate. and that she and her companion wanted to have food as they had come from a long distance. Chandilya had come from Chandilya, welcomed her, but told her that she cannot be given food as the yajna had to be completed and the priest fed. Brahmini got enraged and she announced that she was Vak, the Vedic goddess and divine mother. She said Paramatman, whom Chandilya was worshipping, was none other than her essence. In her anger, she changed herself into Neela Saraswati, blue in color, with weapons and clouds and proclaimed that she would absorb the world. This was the furious aspect of Sharada, the Saraswati or Sharada. Chandilya was shocked and was very scared and also remorse. And he collapsed and he died. The goddess revived him with Amrita because she felt bad. She had compassion for the devotee, and so she revived him. And the goddess revived him with Amrita, and she transferred into a benign form of Saraswati. She addressed him as her son and told him that she was pleased with his devotion. She told him to ask for a boon, asked her, and he said he wanted her to give back life to the dead. Many people had died in that. Restore the village and forest. Saraswati did so, asking him to build an ashram near Madhumati river. It's called the present day Neelam river. And she took her abode in Sharada Peeth. Now, another version is there. Chandilya prayed to goddess Sharada with fervor, and she appeared, told him that she would show him in a real divine form. She wanted him to go with her to Sharada forest. His journey was filled with miraculous experiences. He had a vision of Ganesha. He reached Neelam river and bathed there. When he got out, his half body had turned golden. Subsequently, showed him her triple form, Sharada, Saraswati, and Vagdevi, and invited him to her abode. When he drew water from when he drew water for his ritual from Mahasindhu river, half the water turned into honey and became a stream, and hence called Madhumati stream. That there is a third version. There was a fight between good and evil, saved the knowledge in mythical container and hid it in a hole on the ground and created a structure and became Sharada Peeth. Then the local versions are there. Two sisters were there, Sharada and Narada. They ruled the world. The two mentioned mountains overlooking the valley are also called Sharade and Nandi. Narada saw from her abode that Sharada had died and the giants were fleeing from her body. Furious, she asked them to construct a tomb for her, and that became Sharada Peeth. Another one legend is there. There was once a giant who loved a princess. So he wanted a palace to be built for her, and he began work. At the time of morning azan, he is supposed to have completed. Unfortunately, the roof was incomplete, and so the Sharada Peeth is without a roof. Reference to Sharada Peeth is there, Neelamata Purana, 6th to 8th century, and the Kashmiri poet Bilhana, and he's by the Kashmiri poet Bilhana. Bilhana also, 11th century, he mentions, but he had described Sharada. He says, quote, resembles a swan carrying as her diadem glittering gold washed from the sand of the Madhumati stream, which is bent on rivaling Ganga, spreading luster by her fame as a diadem and rivaling the Ganges river, spreading her luster by her fame, brilliant like crystal. She makes even Mount Himalaya, the preceptor of Gauri, raise higher his head, referring to the peaks in pride of her residence there. Kalana, belonging to the 12th century, author of Raja Tarangini, talks about Sharada. So these are all the references about the Kashmiri old ancient temple which existed. And as I mentioned, it's about 10 kilometers from the line of control. Now I come to Kutanur Saraswati temple, and Kutanur Saraswati temple is actually, in fact, not many temples are there in the south for Saraswati. To begin with, she, as a main deity, what I mean to say, this temple, now this Kutanur Saraswati has the, I have Saraswati as the main deity. It is only her shrine, and it indicates it is actually, it's a very small village called Kutanur in Tiruvarur district of Tamil Nadu. She is also known as Maha Saraswati. Praises to the goddess have been sung by the great Tamil poets like Ottakuthar and Kambar. And Kambar has written a work called Saraswati Andadi. I'm talking about the glory of this temple. One of the legends says when it was discovered the Saraswati goddess was residing here, the lost river Saraswati came here, and it's supposed to have joined the Ganga, and now it is known as Arashilaru, and the water from this is taken for the Abhisheka of Abad Sahayeshwara. This is the god there. This river, Shiva temple is there. This river is also known as I told you, Arishilaru, and it is supposed to be a place where, in older days, they used to do what they call the ancestors' offerings. They used to do. Then now the river is almost dry, except during the rains. The Sala is also known as Jnana Pita and Dakshina Triveni Sangamam. While in other temples in this place, the gods are with their respective consorts, such as Shiva with the consort Durga, Mahavishnu with Mahalakshmi. Saraswati is enshrined in an independent temple. Now, what is the Sala Purana? Why did she come as just herself and without Brahma? Very interesting story is there. Long back in Satyaloka, there was a little argument between Brahma, the consort, and Saraswati. Now, Saraswati said she was quite proud, and she said Satyaloka gained its importance, and Brahma did not, because of her, it had gained importance. Brahma did not accept it and told her that because he was the creator, Satyaloka has got its prominence, and because Saraswati is his consort, she has got the prominence. She has gained glory, otherwise, she wouldn't have gained glory. This conversation and dialogue escalated, and it posed a great problem. Eventually, they started cursing each other. And they said they will be born in Bhuloka, that is the earth. And they are born as the children of a Brahmin couple called Punya Kirti and Shobhanai. The son was Bahukantan, and Shraddai was the daughter. When they came of age, the parents began looking out for matches for their daughter and son. It was that time the two children realized who they were in the past, and now that they were siblings, so they cannot go back to the original status, as a husband and wife. The parents earnestly prayed to Shiva. Shiva appeared and told the daughter, that is actually the Saraswati, who has come born as the daughter of the family, that she will remain as Saraswati independently and would gift the devotees with learning. There is no Murti of Brahma here. And I'll be talking about the festivals later. According to one source, this place was given as a gift to court poet Ottakuthar by Rajaraja Cholan II. And the village acquired the name because of the poet's position. And he's supposed to have built the temple. And one of the great freedom fighters of Tamil Nadu, Subramanya Bharati, also is supposed to have visited the temple and worshipped Saraswati. The Murti, the main deity Saraswati, she wears a white clothing, as I told you, seated in Padmasana on a white lotus, is forearmed. The lower right hand is Chin Mudra, that is a teaching mudra, and a book on the left hand. And the two hands above hold, right hand holds Aksharamala, that's a rosary, and left Amrita Kalasha, pot of nectar, and Jatamudi with third eye. Another legend is Goddess Saraswati is supposed to have appeared before Ottakuttar on the banks of Harisol near what is now known as a Kuttanur, and he received the boon of knowledge. And the festivals will come to that later. Now, Sharda Peetam of Sringeri. This is very interesting. Sringeri Sharda Peetam is one of the four main Peetams established by Adi Shankara to propagate Advaita philosophy. The other four places being Dwaraka, Puri, Badri, and Jyotish Peetam. Sringeri is situated on the banks of Tungabhadra and it's in Karnataka. And among the four main disciples, Sureshwaracharya was appointed as the first Shankaracharya of the Shankara Pita. And hagiographic story is, according to the hagiographic story, Adi Shankara, during his extended tour all over the country, happened to see a pregnant frog being protected from the hot sun by a hooded snake. Seeing this, Adi Shankara felt this was a holy place where the natural enemies live in harmony, and he decided to establish a mata here. Rishi Shranga of the son of sage Vibhandaka is associated with this place too. And it is said that Sureshwaracharya was the same Mandana Mishra. Now, I won't go to a lot of details of Mandana Mishra. Mandana Mishra was a great philosopher and a very great scholar. But he believed that karma was very important, the yagas, etc. Karma kanda was important. And of course, Adi Shankara's was a different philosophy. So it is said that Adi Shankara installed the Sharadamman made of sandalwood in standing posture till Vijayanagara period, and then a golden statue seated was installed. Now, Sharada is none other than Saraswati, who was born as Ubaya Bharati, and she actually was the wife of Mandana Mishra. There was, according to Shankara Digvijayam, it is told that Shankara was engaged in a debate on Vedanta with Mandana Mishra, and whosoever the debate had to sort of had a condition that whosoever lost the debate will become the disciple or victor or the winner. Now, Mandana, the well-known Vedantic expert, asked the two rishis, Jaimini and Vyasa, to be there to decide the debate. It was decided that, but then Uma Bharati, wife of Mandana Mishra, it was decided that she would become the judge. And as she was considered and accepted as the incarnation of Saraswati, Adi Shankara proposed to announce his point of view of unity of all existence. Sat Chit Ananda is one ultimate truth, existence, conscious, bliss, absolute. While Mandana Mishra, as I told you, said that Karma Kanda constitutes the steps to moksha. Ubaya Bharati put a garland of flowers on the neck of Adi Shankara and her husband Mandana Mishra. When the flower garland fades, the person will be the loser. Mandana Mishra lost and he undertook sannyasi. Ubaya Bharati gave bhiksha to both of them, accepting them as sannyasis. While Adi Shankara was praised by Ubaya Bharati, she told him that he cannot be considered as full winner, as she would put him to test. The debate lasted for 17 days, finding him unbeatable in all areas of philosophy. An idea struck her. She wanted to check him on Kama Shastra, and he was a celibate from boyhood. Adi Shankara accepted and asked for a month to take up the challenge. Adi Shankara and his disciples, experts in yogic powers, flew and found a dead body, the king of Amaruka. Adi Shankara discussed with his disciple as to how he plans to enter the body of the king, go through the experience of a married person, and re-enter his body that would be safeguarded by his disciples. Padmapada, one of his disciples, agreed, but told about the pitfalls that could be possible. Shankara won over the argument and his Atma entered the body of the king. The ministers of the king realized that a very noble person, soul, had entered the king's dead body. So they ordered all the unclaimed corpses to be burnt. In the meantime, the stipulated period of 1 month was over, and so the unguarded corpse of Shankara was set to fire. At this juncture, Shankara recited a hymn on Lakshmi Narasimha. It is called Karavalambasta Stotra, and the flames were put off. Shankara emerged from the cave. He returned to Mandana and Ubaya Bharati, and they welcomed her and honored him, welcomed him and honored him. At this point, Ubaya Bharati proclaimed that it is understood Adi Shankara was none other than Sadashiva. She declared that she would go back to her heavenly abode and sought the permission of Shankara. He told her that he was aware that she was an incarnation of Saraswati. She is of the nature of pure consciousness. And that he would establish temples for her in Rishya and other places of worship. He requested her that she should manifest herself in all these places and grant boons to devotees. She agreed to it and disappeared. Mukambike. Now, this is another interesting story, and I came across while I was, studying about the, Sharada temple in Shringeri. As an adjunct to this is Kollur Mukambike temple. As per the Sala Purana of the temple, Mukambike once appeared before Adi Shankara and asked him to build a temple for her. The condition was that she would follow Shankara and he would not look back till he reached the destination. Shankara kept hearing the sound of anklets till he went to Kollur, and that is where the Mukambika shrine is there. And he turned back whether Devi is following, and she asked him to install her there itself. According to a legend, the goddess here is the incarnation of Saraswati, and of course, the Aksharabhyasam, Vidyarambam, everything is performed in this temple. Now there is Jnana Saraswati temple at Basara, at Telangana. And in Telangana, story goes Vyasa sat in meditation on the banks of Godavari while writing Brahmanda Purana. Though the goddess appeared, he could not see her. He prepared mounds of sand that turned into goddess, idols of Lakshmi, Saraswati, and Kali. The people started worshipping, calling her Jnana Saraswati. One more temple of Vidya Saraswati is in Warangal. The temple was outcome of the efforts of a scholar called Yashovardhan. It is said that the temple is 400 years old, and later on the temple was built, and the kings did a lot for the temple. Then now we come to Dakshina Mukambike temple. It is in Kerala, and the interesting features of the temple is the Sanctum Sanctorum is in the midst of a lotus pool. Legend goes like that. Tampuran, ruler of Paravur, was a great devotee of goddess Mukambika. He used to visit Kollur and pay homage to the goddess. Later on, due to old age, he was not able to visit, and he was very sad. The goddess appeared in his dream and ordered him to build a temple close to the palace so that he could offer worship on a daily basis. So he followed the instructions, and the Dhyana Shlokam, Eluthi Tiruthi, write the word Harishri, or rice grains. That is, whenever there is Vidyarambam, this is what is done in this place. And the tongues, or the sand with the golden, either on rice grains or sand, or with the golden, the tongues are dipped in this thing, and then honey and a golden ring, and it is applied on the tongues of the children. Apart from Navaratri, 10-day annual festival is also celebrated in the month of Makaram. That is the same time as the Vasanta Panchami, about which I'll be talking. Music festivals, etc. are main features. Now, Panachi Kadu Saraswati also has another story. The same temple, Paru. It is actually it's about 11 kilometers from Kottayam. The same place is 11 kilometers from Kottayam. And you see the Vishnu temple, and then we can also see the Saraswati temple, as I had already described. And the water is dripping and flowing on the idol. There is no traditional sanctum sanctorium as such. A rectangular pool is there. In this pond, lush green plants like creeper cover the original idol of Saraswati. Near it, there is an alternate image which is offered puja. Leaves of the creeper are considered to be Saraswati leaves. The water required for puja are taken from this pond. There is also a Yakshi temple and also a Brahma Rakshasu, other deities too. According to the one of the Malayalam works, Idihya Mala of Kotarati Shankunni, a detailed description of the temple is given, and he places the temple for more than 1,000 years old. Now the story goes that there were three Brahmin families who took care of the temple. They were called Kirapuram, Karunadu, and Kalimko. From these families, a respectful Brahmin was disappointed because he did not have a male issue. So he proceeded towards Ganga to have a holy bath. On the way, he stayed in Kondur, and Devi appeared before him, asked him to go back to his village. She told him a lady in the Karunattillam is now pregnant and she will have twins. One of them should be adopted by him. Next day, he had a bath, worshipped Devi, and left. In his palm leaf umbrella, there was Devi's blessing and power. When he reached that is Panachikadu, or the same as Parur, the palm leaf umbrella became stiff. A godman appeared and asked him, and the power of the Devi should be installed in this place. An idol which was deserted was lying there. The Brahmin was told to incarnate the power of Shakti in this old idol, which was worshipped by godmen many years ago with supernatural power. Long back, and now such people are not available now. An alternate idol has been installed. It is believed that the water from the feet of Vishnu, that the holy water flows into the shrine of Saraswati. People from various parts come here, irrespective of religion. For Vidyarambam, ghee enriched with Saraswati mantra is given to the devotees. Every day, early morning puja is performed. Saraswati Shuktam is chanted. Durgashtami Day, special puja for textbooks, literary works, and Thai Aliola of ancient wisdom. And on Vijayadashmi Day, they are returned to the owners. Eminent writers like Kartika Tirunal, Ramavarma, Maharaja, and many others have visited and attended bhajan. A.R. Rajavarma was dumb during childhood, but became famous as a writer and expert in oration by the blessing of the goddess. Many artists visit to seek help from her. Now, we now come to the last this thing of the festivals part of it. Now, what are the festivals connected with Saraswati? One of the very important festivals connected with special worship to her takes place during Navaratri on the 9th day, Navami. It is also known as Ayudha Puja. She is worshipped along with the instruments, tools of artists, books, and musical instruments. Books are also kept. Shandanam and Kunkumam, sandal and Kunkumam, vermilion, are kept under goddess' feet to receive her blessings. And since the books are kept for worship, generally it is believed that one should not read on that day. So, in fact, it's very funny that children will really feel happy on that day because they don't have to study or read in South India. So, Vijayadashmi Day only they'll start the Vidyarambam. The next day, Vijayadashmi Day, the books are taken and a prayer is offered, recited, as been mentioned already. We have mentioned Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambam Karishyami Siddhit Bhavatu Me Sada. Here in South India, we also recite a prayer to Hayagriva, again, manifestation of Vishnu with a horse's head. And we recite that shloka also along with Saraswati Puja. Ayudha Puja is also celebrated on the same day. All the tools, vehicles, etc. are washed, cleaned, and decorated with flowers, smeared with sandalwood paste and kunkumam. Shundal, which we prepare in the south, either with white chickpeas or black chickpeas. Medu vada, that is vada, and another sweet dish called suyam is also prepared. Kadalaiparappu payasam is also prepared. That's a sweet dish. It's called, in Odisha, it is called Ayudha Puja, Khande Navami in Maharashtra. Dasara is celebrated on a very grand scale in Mysore, involving the royal household. In Kerala, it is called Ayudha Puja, and it lasts for 2 days. The first day is called Puja, keeping the instruments, etc. for worship. The next day is called Puja Eduthu, removing. In villages, martial arts and folk dramas are performed. Folk dances are performed. In Maharashtra, Vijayadashmi Day, the leaves of Shami tree, Aptya, it's believed that these leaves represent gold. People exchange these leaves. Vidyarambam takes place on Vijayadashmi Day in Kerala, Tamil Nadu, coastal Karnataka. It's a kind of initiation into the learning to write. In Tamil, it's called Mudal Elithu. Interestingly, in Odisha, Kadi Chuan is celebrated on Vasant Panchami Day, signifying birth of Saraswati, that is celebrated very grandly during. On a place of rice grains, a child is taught to write under the guidance of a guru. A mantra is written on the child's tongue with gold, and it is believed Saraswati's grace will be obtained. Ganesha is also invoked. Ceremony is performed by the maternal uncle, father, or brother of the father. The child is made to write Om, sometimes followed by Panchakshari mantra Namah Shivaya. In Kerala, Harishri Kanapatiya Namaha is used as the mantra. Jnana Saraswati Temple of Basar in Telangana, children are brought for Vidyarambam Aksharabhim. It's a very great festival. At this part, I would like to mention that the Haigriva Shlok, as I mentioned earlier, the Haigriva Shlok is always recited in the south. What is Vasant Panchami? It's a festival prepared for the arrival of spring. It is celebrated in the Magha month, that is of Hindu lunisolar calendar, that is January, February. In the south, it is called Sri Panchami. And in Bali and Hindus of Indonesia call it Hari Raya Saraswati, Great Day of Saraswati. It is dedicated to Goddess Saraswati. She symbolizes creative energy and power, including longing and love. Here, the karma is not what the karma we are talking about, passion. It's the love. The agricultural fields look beautiful with yellow flowers, the mustard crop. Hindus usually associate it with Saraswati, and it is regarded as a favorite of her. People dress up in yellow clothes and also share yellow colored sweets. Saffron rice, yellow rice is also prepared. Children are encouraged to learn on this day, write first words, and some study or create music. The day before Vasant Panchami, Saraswati temples prepare plenty of food. In the temples and educational places, worship is offered to Saraswati images. Many schools even arrange special prayers for Saraswati to receive her blessing. Poetry is read, music concerts in honor of Saraswati are held. In Nepal, Bihar, eastern states, as well as West Bengal, Tripura, and Assam, many devotees visit the temple of Saraswati. In Bangladesh, holiday is declared in major educational institutes. As I said, Odisha too, special puja and homas, yajnas are performed for Saraswati. She's the Sri Panchami because she's considered as a mother aspect of one goddess Devi. There is a legend relating to Vasant Panchami to other deities such as Kama. In some parts, Shiva and Parvati are also worshipped on this day. Kite flying also takes place in some parts. The Gujarat government has encouraged Saraswati Puja in schools on Vasant Panchami Day. There is now we come to the visual representations of Saraswati and Sharada. I had already mentioned about the Saraswati Tilaka, which talks about the representation of Saraswati. Now we go into the iconography of Saraswati. There are some texts which prescribe as to how the image should be made. Now, as far as Saraswati is concerned, most of the texts agree on the same principles. Now, here the of course the she got four. There are agamas that lay. Then there are various. Now, for instance, there is a Sutta Samhita of Skanda Purana that says she has a jata mukuta with a crescent moon, neck of blue color, and 3 eyes. Veena of Saraswati is known as Kachapi. Single ground gold veena was popular in Gupta period, and we find this Ajanta paintings attached to the veena. Ajanta paintings. The veena is attached and hung on shoulder while playing. In the Hoysala period, such sculptures are to be seen and came to be called as Saraswati Veena. One is called Kachapi and the other is called Saraswati Veena. She's also depicted in a vehicle in a virile form of Mahasaraswati. Mahatmya, Devi Mahatmya mentions her as one of the forms of Trinity, Mahalakshmi, Mahakali, Mahasaraswati. There's a Dhyana Shloka, the powerful warrior of the arm, with trident blouse, plowshare, pestle, discus, coach, bow, arrow, and bell. Now there are other texts also. Now Saraswati is regarded more as a Vedic deity, so folk forms are not popular. One of the earliest forms of Saraswati holding palm leaf text is traced to 2nd century AD in Kankalitila, near Mathura in UP. Seldom we find in Gupta sculptures, Chalukyas, Pallavas, Rashtrakuta, and Paramara periods. Seen not many though, we don't see many. The Paramara period has one of Saraswati playing Veena, Raja Bhoja's period of Raja Bhoja, seated in Leelasana, and it is in Houston Museum. During Chalukya's period, they were placed in what they call Deva Koshtas, a niche-like structure. In Agarharas, the image was placed in the shrine and worship. Exclusive ornate temple for Saraswati is in Trikuteshwara temple in Gadag near Dharwad. Life-size image of goddess in Padmasana. Ganadasis, the guild of sculptors. Now, the Trikuteshwara temple, the shrine has been vandalized, so there's hardly anything to be seen there now. In Bagali image, Saraswati is in Padmasana with 4 hands, palm leaf text, and Akshamala. During Hoysala period, we have Saraswati sculpture, seated or dancing postures. This was something which was very interesting to me. Dancing Saraswati as a veena, but in a posture prescribed as to how they dance Natya Shastra. Now there are Chola temples like Brihadishwara temple and Gangekonda Cholapuram. Saraswati is seen in niches, seated as a full-bloomed lotus. And she's got Yajna Pavita and 4 hands, Akshamala, picture, palm leaf text, and Chin Mudra. Now this dancing Saraswati, it is in Halebeedu temple. Saraswati is shown under a tree performing Natya. Vahana Swan stands by, holding Chakra, Shankha, Rudraksha beads, and what appears to be maize or lotus, but we do not know. And she dances to the accompaniments of music. The Hoysalashvara temple, and it's the largest complex in Halebeedu. Now, Saraswati, as I told you, there is a text called Amshu Veda Agama. Seating, she's supposed to be seating, a posture, sitting posture, with 4 hands. In one right hand, she holds Aksharamala and the Vyakhyana Mudra. With others, she wears with others. She wears Yajnapavita, indicating a position in the Vedic pantheon, with hair in the form of a Jatamukuta, decorated with jewels, especially with earrings studded with rubies. In Purva Karanagama prescribed pearl earrings. And the Vishnu Dharmottava, goddess, okay, is in standing position also. And anyway, today I wish to thank again Ranjini for introducing me, and of course the Kali Barry for giving me an opportunity. I was keen to recite the chant, the Sharda Bhujangam, but I ran out of time because I wanted to give a proper version of almost, I would say, complete picture of Saraswati, though it's a bird's eye view of Saraswati. And thank you very much. I wish to tell you that I really enjoyed giving this talk. Thank you so much. Bye.